Not much. Right? Or how are things going? What's been going on?
Much?
Much?
Is that better?
The opposite of not much? Slightly more than not much? How's life? How's school?
Homeschooled?
Okay. Yeah. Ninth grade?
Eighth.
Eighth grade. Okay. All
We
right.
don't
So
discuss that a lot because it's not something we ask each other. So sometimes when months go by and you haven't talked about what grade you're in, you gotta think.
yeah, with homeschool. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Like when you're you're at school and you're like, eighth graders do this, or you hear
Okay.
it more often.
So I shouldn't say eighth grade if you're like, yeah, I'm taking pre-calculus. Technically, I should be in 11th. I'm doing trig. Okay. What'd you work on? Can't wait. Let's warm up. Anything you want? Look at you playing A major. Okay, yeah, do one more time. That was really good. Not bad at all, kiddo. Yeah, once you start pushing the envelope tempo-wise, you'll start to hit that threshold where one hand will start to drop behind, and there's nothing wrong with that. That'll just be a part of it. But good for you. Let me hear D major.
Like just one, like down and up, or just
The same exercise, if you can wing it. Yeah, for sure. G major. Sneak up on you. A minor. So, this is our first lesson. We might have touched on this briefly. How do you find the relative minor of a major scale? And what I mean by that is C major has no sharps or flats, right? In C major, we don't hit any of the black notes. The relative minor or corresponding minor chord means the chord in which that shares the same sharps and flats as its corresponding major chord. So A minor has exactly the same number of sharps or flats that C major does, which is exactly 0. So if you play A minor, A with no sharps or flats, do the same exact exercise. No sharps or flats. Start on A and play it as if you were playing C major.
What's the difference between minors and majors?
Minor has a dropped third, and it is a more somber sounding sound, a more sadder sounding sound. You'll see what I mean.
So,
Played just like you would a C major, no sharps or flats. Do you hear the difference between that and now play C major? Stop. Can you hear it? C major is happier. A minor is sadder. You typically will hear when there is a sad song, it most often is going to be minor, okay? And the thing that differentiates major from minor is if you note, whole step, whole step. And what I mean by a whole step is you're skipping, these are half steps, okay? This is getting into theory. Half step, half step, half step, half, okay? A whole step, this is a whole step. This is a whole step. This is a whole step because you're skipping a note. Whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. Does that make sense?
no.
Okay? From here to here is a whole step because you're skipping this note.
Okay.
Here to here is a whole step. You're skipping this note. Here to here is a whole step because you're skipping this note. Here to here, skipping. Here to here, skipping. Here to here, skipping.
Okay.
Okay? A major scale is note, whole step, half step. So 2 whole steps, then a half step. Whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. You're not skipping any notes here, between here, or these two. Note, whole, half, whole, half.
Okay.
That is applicable to everything that you play. So if you play A major, just like you were playing at the beginning, note, whole step, because you're skipping here, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. If you want to find the sharps and flats of any major scale, you start off on a note, 2 whole steps, half step, 3 whole steps, half step, 2 half, 3 half. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay, that is the formula. A minor scale, we'll start off on C, note, whole step, half step. C minor, now, sorry. So, do you see that drop third? Third means the third note. Instead of in a major scale, you're going to play a note, whole step. Minor, it's note, whole step, half step. Whole step, up. Half step, whole step. And there are different types of minor chords, okay? Right, that's the Egyptian, right? We equate that. Sorry. of different ways you can have a minor chord, the configuration. But anyways, just circle back. C major. You drop down 1, 2, 3 half steps. That is your relative minor, A. So if you start here, 1, 2, 3, no sharps or flats, just like it's relative major. So if you start on, let's say, D major, what sharps or flats does D major have?
What?
What sharps does D major have?
Like these things?
Those things, yes. Yes. What note is this?
Is that called F sharp?
That is called F sharp. What is this?
Would that be C sharp?
That is C sharp. So D has F sharp and C sharp. How do you find the relative minor? Start on D and go down 3 half steps.
So
Go down 3 half steps and count.
oh,
So, what note is that?
B.
B. Play a B scale with C sharp and F sharp, the same sharps you would play in a D major scale. Start on B. The fingering is a little tricky with B, but do you see how that works?
Okay.
A major has C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. How do you find its relative minor? If we're starting on A, go down 3 half steps.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
Okay, so I'd be starting on
F
sharp.
sharp minor. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That is kind of beginning theory. If you want to, if you're playing in a minor chord, the way that you find the relative major is to go up 3 half steps and you'll find the relative major chord. If you're playing in a major chord and want to find its minor, go down 3 half steps and you play the exact same sharps and flats as you did when you're playing that other chord, that other scale.
Okay.
When you're writing songs, that is really, really valuable because if you're like, oh man, I want to play this song, but I want to play the same sharps or flats, but I just want to make it sad. Okay, well, you don't have to find the minor chord for the key signature that you're playing in. You can just go down and find the relative minor and play the exact same notes. Yeah, there's some circle of fifths, and we'll get into all that stuff that helps with composition and streamlining the process of composition. But yeah, I wanted to show that to you since you're moving along nicely. I'll just throw little nuggets of theory at you and watch your mind go. All right, play me something. It's an incredibly difficult song. There's a lot of things going on. And this is where muscle memory and repetition is, it's paramount. And because you're going to find that you're going to need to more often pay attention to one particular hand, because we're now jumping further. So really, really important that you get the left hand on a lot of those passages where you don't have to look at your left hand under your fingertips. So you can really pay attention to these jumps, right? These. Everything else for the most part isn't too difficult, but there's a lot going on. Okay. You are grasping these songs relatively quickly, so I'm going to put a little pressure on you and ask you to play with a little bit more dynamics. Okay, we're going to get better.
I had focused on just getting the notes and not really focused on the dynamics this week, and I noticed that because when it came this Wednesday, I said, "Oh crap, there's still all that to look at." I did not look at it.
You're fine. I don't expect you to come in to the studio with something you just learned and have like the dynamics maxed out. I'm really pleased with the progress that you made just in learning this in a week. That's excellent work. However, the ones that you do know better, I'm going to start pulling out some more dynamics, okay? You don't have a problem with touch and playing piano. We're going to start working on some velocity and creating some
Softer, is that?
just we're going to go from this dynamic range and we're going to start to spread it so we can it's going to be a little bit more dynamic, okay? So I will let you continue. You've got the notes, and we're going to work on how we're playing the notes because we already know what we're playing, okay? What about this one? Let's actually let's start. Awesome job. Great job playing the right notes. Start at the beginning. What dynamic level are we at?
What am I doing?
The dynamic level that we're at, there is a dynamic level in between the bass clef and the treble clef.
Piano, I think that's what it stands for.
The beginning of the song? Yes, piano is what P stands for, 100%. First measure?
What?
First measure of the song?
This one?
Yes, what is the dynamic marking in the first measure?
Okay, that. F.
Meaning forte.
Forte.
Forte. Forte means
Loud?
loud. Yes. With good tone. Always with good tone, because there's a difference between and you hear how it gets harsh. We don't want harsh, we want dynamic. Okay? So okay? A little more velocity when you're playing it. Attack it a little bit more. And what that will do, Josie, is that will allow you to come to bar 5 here and bring this diminuendo, decrescendo to piano without getting so soft that you start to lose it. So we really want to create that dynamic contrast so we have a large area to operate within, because it's not just loud and soft. There's loud, forte, there's fortissimo, forte, mezzo forte, piano, mezzo piano, pianissimo. So there's a wide range that we have to operate in, but we have to give ourselves the room to move in either direction. So we can't operate in the mezzo forte realm anymore. Cool? Let me just hear you play the right hand by itself. I'm going to play with you. Ready? 1,
How
2.
quick?
1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Much better. 1, 2, ready, on your own. Now, good. When you're playing louder, we have to make slight adjustments to make it still sound smooth, okay? When we're playing nice and soft. It's a little bit more of a relaxed approach, okay? It's a little bit easier to play smooth. When we're playing forte, it takes a little bit more control because we're getting aggressive, but we still want it to sound smooth and legato and connected. That's tricky. Let's try it again. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Good. That. Okay. Okay. Watch. Yep. Again. Again. Okay. So those little tiny tricky ones that where it's not super smooth, it's like ba 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 ba, and I'm exaggerating, ba 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 ba. Make sure it's super smooth. Okay, try it one more time, just that. Good. From the beginning, 1, 2, same thing, ready, and. Go on. Go on.
Oh, wait, I'm so confused. Okay, what are we doing?
We'll start from the beginning, and we're gonna go on. 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, now we're going to bring this down to piano when we get there. 1, from the beginning. 1, 2, ready, and.
So we're-
Good. And what is that?
crescendo?
Crescendo. Good. How much time do you have to crescendo? How many bars?
Like one measure? Is that-
One measure, one bar. I'm sorry. Whenever I say a bar, that's the same thing as a measure. Sorry, it's those two terms are interchangeable. Yes, we have one measure to go from piano to what dynamic marking?
Forte?
Forte. Excellent. So the way I like to practice this, if I see there is a dynamic change, I will practice the bar in which I have that dynamic change happening, master that, and then go back because we know how to play piano, right? We can play this piano just fine. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, try that. Just the scale. Yep. You're going to have to start delicate, and then you're going to have to apply some force and some velocity to your fingers. There you go. Good. Excellent. One more time. Good. Now, end on the downbeat, and let's just play this bar too, just so we kind of have a flow moving through that. A little more difficult when we're playing with some velocity. Yeah. Yes. Good. Now, the next measure is same dynamic marking, right? We're still at forte. Yeah. Keep going, and we're still at the same dynamic marking. Mm-hmm. Good. Let's start from the beginning. Slow it down just a little bit so we can kind of keep our brain ahead of our fingers. And as we are going through the first 16 measures, let's see if we can kind of attack these dynamic markings and really make the most of the contrast.
With just my right hand?
Just your right hand. Your left hand will follow your right hand if you are playing with intent. Good job. You're getting used to it. The more you practice playing forte, the easier it will be to relax once you've kind of mastered that particular approach. You'll be able to play forte with more ease once it becomes comfortable, okay? Now, let's go back to measure 4. How do we get quiet? Who's driving the train in that decrescendo?
The left hand?
The left hand, 100%. How long do we have to decrescendo from forte to piano?
Well, I still call it half a measure.
Half a measure. How many counts?
4 or 2?
2. Good. Yeah, we're in 4/4, so we have 2 counts because there are 2 sets of 8th notes, right? 2 counts. Good. So that's a pretty aggressive dynamic contrast where we got to drop down. So each one of those notes really matters in terms of creating a very consistent yet drastic drop in dynamics, okay? So again, just more control, but the nice thing is, what's your right hand doing during that?
No, resting.
It is. It's doing nothing except setting up to play piano once the left hand and right hand start measure 5. Let's do measures 1, 2, 3, 4, and then end on the downbeat of measure 5, and see if we can create. See if you can create. I'm just sitting here barking orders. Faster,
So-
more dynamic.
Both hands this time?
Let's do both hands. Get after it. Commit.
That was the,
That not bad at all. I appreciate the attempt. Make sure you don't equate louder with faster. It's hard to do. Come sit over here. Okay, so make sure we don't take off. If we want to play at that speed, cool. But what we don't want to do is get to certain tempo and then this is hard. And there it is. I didn't do the dynamic contrast in there. My point is, don't speed up mid-phrase. Hear it? Bum, 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 bum. You pick the tempo, but you got to stick with it as soon as you commit. Good.
oh, I'm totally off track.
Good. When you play with new dynamics and you really attack a piece, it's almost like you're learning it new. Yeah, a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. That's okay, because you already know the notes. Your brain is just going, I don't know how to do this all at once. Okay? That's why when you start learning these pieces, I'm not expecting you to come back and having the dynamics mastered, but it is a good practice to now start looking in the dynamics. So when you're practicing for the first time these new pieces, make good use of your time and start practicing dynamics from the very beginning, so you don't have to go back and relearn dynamics after you, because you're basically practicing without dynamics. So you're kind of practicing not a bad habit, but a way of playing it that's not going to be the way that you want to play it. Cool? All right. And you, up to this point, I've really just been impressed with the fact that you're getting the mechanics and your motor skills down with these new complex patterns. Now the learning is going to kind of switch into, we're going to do both now. Cool. Now we got a little bit more. Got a little bit more happening, okay, with all these little dynamic markings, okay? This is just shaping. When you have a lot of crescendos and decrescendos, it's just shaping. You don't have to make it extraordinarily dynamic because you're all operating kind of within the context of piano right here, okay? So let's start there and take note of what's kind of happening. Good.
I'm trying to remember what's going on. Okay.
Play it the way you know how to play it. Don't worry about the dynamics. Just play it to get it under your fingers.
It's hard to play them separated, so I'm trying to like.
Start right there. Good. So when you're playing the what dynamic marking is that?
Forte.
Good. Now, let's take this shaping out and just start with piano. Let's play this piano. We'll work on shaping in a little bit, but let's get the bones of the dynamics kind of underneath your fingers. We're going to start piano. We're going to play this forte, okay? Play forte, and then we're going to bring it back down to piano for this. Okay, so let's create a little bit of structure dynamically. Go on. Piano. I'm glad you looked. Good.
I don't know where I am.
Good. Good. Do it again. Now you're getting it under your fingers, and I really appreciate you attacking that. Now, as you're playing these scales, you're crescendoing here, you're getting a little bit louder. They don't say get loud until right here. So maybe a little bit of shaping going into this. What you do here, maybe do here, right? Keep growing in that direction. How you shape it is going to be kind of up to you. You could play all of this forte all the way across and just have it loud all the way across with no shaping whatsoever, but that's probably not the way anyone that cares about how they play is going to play this. You're going to put Josie's spin on it, okay? But again, operate in the confines to some degree.
I think a while ago, I don't know if it was this part, but it was similar. I tried to like get like quieter here and then louder again, so like it just, I don't know, it sounded cool, but I don't remember which part it was that I was doing that at all.
Yeah, experiment with it, for sure. You're just reaching for your octave on your left hand as you play the thirds. Yeah, good job. Okay. Listen to how you're playing it as you're playing in the moment, okay? And just max out the dynamics. Again, work on the bones. You can set those dynamic contrasts from the very beginning by just looking at what's notated without even looking at the crescendos and decrescendos necessarily. Just see kind of where is the piece going? Am I all piano for the entire piece? Because there are songs that do that. Am I banging this thing out, right, the whole time? There are songs that do that, but then there's shaping within that. But at least what are the bones of this piece? What did the composer had in mind? Oh, he wants me to rock this thing out. All right, we're going, and I'm going to shape it. And then I'll take a look at, okay, he kind of wants me to do here, and she wants me to do it. You know what I mean?
Are you seeing that in that? When you look at it, she sees it? Like where you're supposed to go up and...
It's just not something that you're trained to key into, because right now we're worried about getting the notes right.
Right.
Completely understandable. It's the way we learn the songs, is we look at the notes first and foremost, and then we come back and we look at not what am I supposed to be playing, how am I supposed to be playing it. That's usually secondary, but what I've come to find is when we're learning pieces, it's kind of a wasted opportunity to not also look at how we're supposed to be playing it as I'm learning it, because I'm just kind of learning it in a way that ultimately I don't want.
Have you ever color coded it, like for loud red and...
Dude, you can draw all over this thing.
Because I guess if they don't come like that, she should learn it how it is, but then you're not thinking so much like reading that word at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. People draw all over charts all the time.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing: charts don't come color coded, so it's a good thing to learn how to read it. I'm going to call it a chart without all that stuff. And a lot of people will go and they'll have a chart that they've never seen before, and they'll just go and notate stuff because they know that they can write little indicators that, like in big bold stuff, based upon what they see, but their eyes are going to the notes, and also to the repeats and things like that, which you will get better at. But the Suzuki method, for the most part, isn't developing chart reading skills. That will come in time. You're learning how to read notes, not charts yet. Charts will come. But you can identify. You want me to do this here? And they want, okay, it's greater than, it's not a greater than, less than sign anymore, but it kind of is, right? Musically, it's a greater than or less than sign. Let me hear this one. Excuse me. Good. Slow it down just a little bit. Can you keep going? Can you keep going?
Yeah. Do you want me to start here or here?
Halfway through. Okay.
I like that song.
That's a gorgeous song. All right, come sit over here, kiddo. We're pretty much done. Really, really nice work. When you're playing a song like this, I want you to think of, I don't know if your mom and I certainly grew up with these, but music boxes that you would crank, okay? Okay, there's a pulse that you want to keep consistent, okay, all the way through. Now, you can deviate from that tempo a little bit, but the pauses shouldn't be too long, too short. It just kind of cranks along, okay, and then it finally dies out at the end. That's kind of what that style reminds me of when I'm playing it. What I try and mimic is just a very, very soft pulse that always kind of moves along. Take your time with those. Don't rush those particular songs, because the reason why they're so cool is they're timeless and their patience is the best word that I can. Like, everyone's just kind of hanging on to each note for sure.
I like it.
Great job.
Thank you.
Velocity. You see forte? I want you attack like a spider monkey. Ah! And that will create some space to operate in dynamically. Great job, kiddo.
Am I learning, do I like go into the next song or
No,
no?
that whole thing. Wait, hold on.
If you're gonna be here next week, I have 2 weeks, so
If you want to.
Okay.
You want to surprise me?
surprise.
Work on each of those pieces as if they're their own, okay? And then see how you can kind of connect them and make them one kind of cohesive piece, okay? Don't just go from one movement to the other without taking a pause and giving the audience a break. You want to finish a thought, and as if a piece is a complete thought, you move on to the next paragraph and on to the next paragraph of the story, okay? But they're all part of the same story, right? They're just different ideas. Make sure you play them as such. Cool?
Okay.
And dynamics help. Good job. Good job, Mom.
What did she do?
She's an awesome mom and good. All right, you guys. See ya. What's up? All about it.
Hi, David. How are you?
How are
Very
you,
good to
sir?
see you.
Good to see you. Hey, kiddo, come on in. I like your dress. We're wearing purple. Right.
How's everything? Good?
Yes. How are you?
Man, you're seriously moving towards Professor Dumbledore.
I'm gonna get a monocle, and I'm gonna get that pipe.
Why do you have like a wolf?
Oh, a wolf mask? Because we did Halloween here. Yeah, that's a scary wolf mask. I know, I need to.
So have you been that was your costume?
No, you want to? No. You want to see my costume? Go ahead and get the.
This was your.
What was your costume? I want to see.
You want to see it?
Yes.
Okay.
What mask is it?
This
This is scary.
is the most terrifying costume ever. You know why?
No.
Because my students. Hold on, let me get my.
Your hair.
It's not terrifying.
I terrified some of my students who had never seen me with hair before.
Oh yes, okay, yeah. Right. No one expected David has such a long hair.
Yes, I have layers like Brad Pitt.
So it happened just in a few days, right? So they're just, what happened?
Yeah, what happened? Rogaine. See, I look like a surfer dude. Or like a football coach that wears the visors.
Yes, but
Yes.
it's not scary.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad.
That's not the.
I was scared for Halloween.
You were scary for Halloween?
Yes, I was actually scary. Some people were scared to get some candy from me.
That's fun, isn't it? You're like,
And I scared them, like by shaking and trying to get angry face.
you did an angry face, and that was terrifying. You have some big eyes, so I would imagine that an angry face is pretty terrifying coming from you.
That was from it.
What was your costume, Senna?
I was Annabelle from Conjuring the Killer Doll.
Oh
She was Annabelle from The Conjuring.
she didn't see the movie, but she knows about that.
I saw
Yeah,
some of the trailers though.
pretty scary. Yeah. All right, Miss Selena. What?
It's getting, and now it's dark, right? And when I come here, it's dark, and I leave it dark.
Now it's getting dark.
Why do you still have your costume on?
You're right. Why do I have my costume on? I'm sweating in this
Oh
thing.
my, okay. You have a beard now.
I do have a beard now. You know what? I started. Oh, let me.